Good evening or afternoon, morning, or wherever you are while tuning into this live stream, post or pre, after. We're getting back into Samurai Champloo. Very excited. It's been quite a spell. So, yeah, we had to do some catching up with 16, 17, 18, and 19. Four episodes in this stream that we're going to go over. A very excited. Let me say excited a couple more times to get back into this. One of these episodes made me laugh a lot. So when we get to it, I will explain it. So as we go about, we're going to explain the episode name, and then I'm going to come up with a name for the episode that I thought of. And so episode 16 is called Lullabies of the Lost, and I'm calling it Burning Man Part 1. Because the scene basically opens up with Mugen talking, and you see a guy on a cliff and he's burning. You're like, what is going on here? And so Mugen's like, it's like he's still alive underneath all the flames. No shit. So, yeah, Burning Man jumps off the cliff, apparently. And so it rewinds back, roll it back, the episode. The trio is walking on a wooded path in the woods, and they're joined by two buxom beauties. And Mugen's like laying the flirt down on him. He's like, if we have to travel, we're going to travel with beautiful women. And like, he tries to what is the term? He's like, hey, you want to go in the woods, check something out? And they're like, no, we don't actually. We don't want to go in the woods because there's rumor of a monster and he likes to burn people alive. Some weird story like that. So they beat him up. They beat Mugen up and then they ran off. So, but I do want to say hi to some people here. We have Zax coming in and saying hi. Thank you, Zax. And then Rio, I appreciate you doing wonderful. I'm kind of rusty. It's like a cold opening. It's been a while. So, all right, let's get back into it. And then this funniest thing happens. There's a trio. It's not like a quartet, but it's a trio of singers, and they're like doing a song about like a rap song about the monster in the woods. Like, yeah, he's gonna come and get you, and you can't beat him. All this other stuff. It's pretty wild. And then the singers are done and they run off. And Fu is complaining about the travel, do you know where you're going, Mugen? And why are you still with me? Why are you guys still following me around? Is it like you guys like me? Blah blah. Mugen's like, I can't stand you, honestly. I want to know who's this sunflower man? You haven't told us anything about him. And so he confronts her about it. And so she's not willing to give up any information on, who this guy is, like what he did. Is it revenge? All this stuff. And at first she thought Jin was going to be defending her because Mugen was saying all these things like, you got an ugly face. Like a bag of bones or something like that. It's hilarious. So she thought Jin was gonna defend her, and he's like, nah, I agree. Hello, Jacob. Good to see you. Hope you're caught up on the episodes and you liked them. Had a good time watching them for sure. So basically they have a spat and they all break up and go separate ways. So there's three trails coincidentally, right? Three trails and they all go on each trail and go away from each other and and Fu's like, oh my god, the bodyguards and lousy, uh, crazy stuff. Hello, Miss Martin. Good to see you. Thank you for dropping by and saying hi. I really appreciate it, Teresa. Thank you so much. Caught me off guard there. So now I have to back up. So she's complaining like they weren't really good bodyguards and it's time to part ways and stuff. So uh and she hears a noise because coincidentally they're leaving and then Jin comes across this guy and attacks him and you find out that okay, hold on. Hello, Blas. Where have you been? I have missed you. It's good to see you. Hope you're well. And also, hold on here. No. Yes. No. How do I do this? I'll figure it out. I got distracted. Hello, Grumpy. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well tonight. Safe travels this week. It's spring break, so everybody is out and about. Everything is booked, right? So Fu hears a noise and Momo like leaves her, just runs off. So she's chasing him and she doesn't want to go back to the noise, which is Mugen gets attacked by this crossbow guy is what I call him the whole episode. This crossbow guy. So Mugen's getting attacked by crossbow guy and then he's like, "Are you part of the blah 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 tribe?" And he's like, "I don't even know what you're talking about." And then skip over to Jin, and Jin's getting attacked as well. And it is Yokimoto, and it's from his dojo. So it's like the dojo master had multiple students, little Padawans, as you call it. And this is one of his Padawans, and he's mad because Jin has gotten so much like attention and has like a reputation, right? And he doesn't like that. So he wants to take Jin out. So Yokimoto wants to take Jin out so he can become the new, like, look at me kind of guy, right? Crash Bandicoot. Oh gosh, and Wrestle. I miss Crash Bandicoot for sure. That was good. And then Spyro. You guys are getting me off on a tangent here. But there was something I wanted to do. Just a second. Here we go. This is where I wanted to go. Bam. Okay, cool. Yay, Jacob. Okay, we're back. Spyro was good. I had the demo and I burned that demo out. So and then Fu is running after Momo. Momo I'm going to tell you, Momo's been trifling this episode of part 1 and the next episode. Just trifling, Momo is. So she's trying to race after him and she tumbles and falls and she's on a cliff and she's holding on and that little butthead Momo like gnaws at her hands and the thing and so she falls into the river, into the water and she has like this I don't know if it's a memory or not, but she has this vision of being in a sunflower field and watching a man walk away. So hence the man that smells like sunflower. She's having a memory or whatnot of him. And she's kind of like dying. But ta-da, she wakes up in a cave. And in the cave is Crossbow Man. So Crossbow Man saved her. I don't know how he did, but he did. Hello, Deanna. Good to see you. Talking about an anime. I like your little avatar. And Crab Feeder. Hello. Yeah, oh no. Triflin Momo. Triflin gets Fu in a lot of trouble. But maybe it's happenstance, right? We never know. And so she heals her, and he's talking about his past, like he was had a family and the whole village died, and like there's this big to do about like there's like an illness, and so like the officials burned the village, didn't even care who was healthy or not. They just, you know, it'd just be burning. So yeah, so she finds out, but that's not until next part, so I kind of like jumped there. And then he is feeding Momo sunflower seeds. So you're like, is could this be the sunflower man? Is this him? And no, I'm not quite sure yet. We'll find out. So Jin survives the fight. He's like, I don't want to fight you. This is not my style. You can say you killed me, whatever. So he jumps off the cliff into the water, and yet somehow he doesn't manage to drown like Fu does. And Mugen, he's hanging out in the field, kind of like waiting to hear anything about the crossbow man. And he's approached by a bunch of people that say they're police. We're the police, the Imperial or whatnot. And they think his name is Okuru. They're like, Okuru, we got you. And he's like, what? And he jumps up and they're running after him. And that's the end of episode 16, Burning Man Part 1. Hello, ship. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good one. Yeah, so episode 16, we're moving on to episode 17. And it's Lullabies of the Lost Part 2, which is Burning Man Part 2. So, Mugen takes on the group. He's like, I got you. Hold this. Hold my sword. And he starts killing the police. You're like, if it's the police, don't you think you should, like, hold off, right? Yes, I hope you're getting better, Zach. Definitely. I hate that. Pneumonia is a butt. It's a butt head. And then so he's like, I'm not the guy. So he like kills a couple men before he's like, nah, it's not me. So dumb. And they're like, oh, it's not him. And then they run off. He's like, wait a minute. Is that the crossbow guy? You're not getting him. I want him. So he runs off and stuff like that. And then so Crossbow Man is like with Fu still. And she is saying that she had bodyguards that were helping her along, and they parted ways, and she needs help to go to oh my gosh, Nagasaki. I'm pretty sure it's Nagasaki. So she was asking him, like, you want to come with me and like be my bodyguard? He's like, no, I ride solo. I'm not a part of any of that. Yeah. So she's out of luck there. So she's hanging out like by the rock so Trifling Momo again leaves Fu and goes with Crossbow Man. She's like, give me those sunflower seeds. Whatever. And so Fu wakes up alone and she sees up on the cliff like somebody, but she can't figure out. And then Jin comes across the police people, and it finds out that they're going about trying to find Okuru, and they mention Mugen. They're on the hunt for them. And so, yeah, we have the whole thing about a flashback of how he witnessed his village he came home, his village was burned down, his wife and his children are gone. And so he kind of like picked up his sword and has like an axe to grind with these police people. So he's like, I have to settle debts, basically. Like I need to face the past. So he goes and faces off with the policeman, and then Yokimoto comes back because Jin and Fu reunite because she's like, there's somebody up there. And so Jin hears her and they reunite, and then it's like, oh, you, where's Mugen? She's like, I don't know. That's the first thing out of their mouths is like, where's Mugen? He's the glue. So Yogimoto comes back and Jin really doesn't want to fight him. Like, he doesn't have his sword in position. He's just like, I'm not spilling your blood. And Yukimoto's like, no, this is happening. Like, I want to attack you. I want to take you out. So he ends up killing Yukimoto. Sorry. Wah, wah, wah. And it's so sad because Jin said he felt like Yukimoto was a little, you're welcome, Jacob. Yeah. You've been dubbed the wrencher. So he's upset about, he's like, he was a little brother to me and he rebelled and wanted to take me out. All that fun stuff. So it hurts. It hurts Jin because he's got all these people that he grew up with in the dojo that hate him, actively hate him for killing the master, the dojo master. But we don't know the reason why he did it. That will probably be revealed later on in the series. And so Okuro's past is revealed. And so the guys are shooting, the police are shooting flaming arrows. And so Okuro gets hit by a flaming arrow. And that's what we see at the first part of episode 16 is that he's on fire and he looks at them and is like, yeah, I'm going to go, and jumps off the cliff. And so the group gets back together and they travel towards Nagasaki, towards where the man that smells like sunflowers was reported to be at. Yeah, slicing through split ends, one follicle at a time. That sounds right, Deanna. Head, mane and tail. Mane and tail. I really do blow through these episodes. I'm sorry, guys, but I do. Episode, and I'm so excited because we have like 7 more episodes left. So that's 2 more streams. And at the end of the last one, we're going to have a little party, get down. So please, guys, stay tuned for that. All right. Episode 18 is War of the Words, which I call Schoolhouse Rocks. This one is my favorite episode, I think, of the whole series right now. I laughed quite a lot on this one. And it was just one, like really one character that, that got me. So they have like this culture and intro about Edo era and the fashion district and the textiles, coming up in Japan, feudal Japan and stuff. So we get a nice little background of that. And then you have a group of, I'm going to call them bull skulls. The bull skull, that even sounds bad. Bull skull group. I don't know. What do you call them? The gang. Bull skull gang. There you go. They vandalize a wall, and you see the vandalized graffiti and stuff, and they look at it. Wait, hold on. The trio's eating, of course, and they hear the hubbub of police people, footmen, and people riding off and stuff. So they go outside and they see the graffiti, and it comes to find out that Mugen can only read one character of their alphabet. He's illiterate, like he cannot read. And so Fu is like, she's trying to educate him. And oh, sorry, I get so ahead right here because they haven't seen it yet. So they're in the bar eating, and so a drunk man hears that Mugen can't read. So he comes and he attacks Mugen and is like giving him like a knuckles and like beating him up and telling him about like being illiterate and how dumb you are and stuff. Like it's just like just grilling them about how important it is to know your language and all this stuff, right? And Mugen ends up um, hitting him, and he's passed out. And the trio, they can't pay for the bill, so they tell the barkeep that the passed out man that just absconded Mugen is paying for the tab. It's a noogie, yes, a noogie. That's right. It's better than a swirly. What is the Champloo? Hey, Jamma, good to see you. It's horse hair and mane shampoo. It is an anime series from the 2000s. Very good. Very good. I'd highly recommend it. It is a little bittersweet at the end, I've heard. So I'm waiting for that knife in the heart. So yeah, and then of course Fu wants to teach him, so she sees the graffiti on the wall. She's trying to teach him the characters and stuff. And at that time, the person that passed out in the bar wakes up and he's like, "Oh my god, that punk. I'm going to go get him." So he races after the people Mugen and Fu, and he ends up abducting Mugen. So Fu thinks that Mugen didn't want to hear anything about what she was teaching him. She's like, "Oh, what a jerk. He didn't even want to stay for that." But no, he ended up getting kidnapped. Hello, Jake Martin. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good one. Thank you for coming by and saying hi. And so it turns out that that guy, the drunk, belligerent guy, is a teacher of like this academy, but it's all ransacked and like abandoned, basically. Like he has no students, and so this is like it for him. Like this Padawan of Mugen is he's gonna teach Mugen the letters of the alphabet. And so they have this whole like spit and spat back and forth. And Mugen is very much like, "Don't tell me what to do. I'm not going to do what you want me to." So he uses reverse psychology on him. He's like, "You don't want them making fun of you, do you?" And so Mugen sees like Fu and Jin laughing about how he's illiterate and stuff. So he's like, "I'm going to learn." So the teacher, that's why I call it Schoolhouse Rocks, because this teacher he rocks for sure. And so Jin finds the Bull Skull gang, and it's headed by two like twins, and Fu runs across them as well. And they're fighting. They do nothing but fight between each other, right? And like Fu's like, "What is you guys' problem? You guys look alike. Because he's like, "You're ugly. You have an ugly face." It's like, "Your birthmark is horrible." She's like, "You guys are identical twins." You're bashing each other. Hello, Plot Strikes Back. It's good to see you, Nick. Hope you're having a good one. Oh, yes. You collected the box set. Nice. I have I guess the special, or like the 3 CDs where it's all together. Yep. Perfect. So, it turns out that Jin knows the group and the twins. The twins had a dojo teacher that he had once trained under before his other master that so he learned from that guy, and he's like, "Yeah, well, if anything happens to me, can you look after my kids?" And he's young at the time, right? And so he's like, "Sure, yeah, I'll make that promise." Well, it turns out the teacher, the father, died. The people were jealous of like his talent and how he was teaching all the students. I'm getting ahead of myself here. But I wanted to tell you why he's dead. So they subverted with this village they were in, right? And turned against the teacher, and so he ended up dying of subdue, where you commit suicide. So he committed suicide and left his twins alone. And now they're little gangsters that like to graffiti the town. They like to graffiti places that are dangerous or where they could get caught. It's risky. Yes. Oh, thank you, Jacob, for linking that. Sweet, sweet. Yeah. I guys hope you enjoy it for sure. So he is bound by the promise of like helping these twins out, and they're in trouble. There is a matter of time where they get in trouble with the law. And so Fu comes up with like an idea of a competition between them because they keep fighting for status of this gang. Like one wants to be top dog, the other one doesn't want to be bottom. So um she's like, have you guys ever thought about like doing a tagging competition where you guys try to go to the most dangerous like place you can go and tag, and we'll be the judge. So Jin will be the judge of it. And so they go around all these places, and Jin's like, yeah, all right, that's all right. And it's like a draw, basically. They're like, have you thought about a different place that you could do? And so they're like the temple, the uh temple, the castle. They call it a palace, the imperial palace. And Fu tells Mugen too, because he's already learned, like, him and his bestie, they grounded out. Like, he was just like, these are the characters. And eventually Mugen got it. And like, the teacher was crying. So happy, but like, so alpha male. I loved it. It was too much. So he's like, you guys are doing a competition with writing. I'm in. So he disappears. You don't know where Mugen goes, right? And then they go to the palace or the temple, whatever you want to call it, and are tagging, and they come across this graffiti that's already been there. So somebody bested them as an infinity loop, right? So they're a little bit upset, like they got beat by some mysterious person. Um, and it's so funny because the teacher shows up and he's like, that's not how you do your grammar. Like he's, he's critiquing their artwork. Like, the words are fine, but he's so mad about the grammar. Um, and so there's these like textile people, I guess, this group of I don't know what to call it, but they're dancing and stuff. I don't know. But they've been following along with this group, and they love that, like, their art with the tagging, and they give the twins a spot to make textile art for their fabric and stuff, right? But the teacher's like, not until I'm done with them. So the teacher takes them to the abandoned Schoolhouse Rocks, and they learn their grammar, and then they become the most famous textile artists. And then at the end of the episode, you find out it was Mugen that had done, because he does it again somewhere random, and the Fu and Jin see him, and he's the one that bested the twins. He learned how to write. Yay for Mugen. Oh my gosh. So much. So much. I ran out of note page, so I had to get sticky notes. You don't even want to see my writing. So We're on the last one, guys. Episode 19. We are excited. I thank you guys so much for coming and stopping by and saying hi and being in the chat. I really do appreciate it. I can't with the shampoo. I don't know what a shampoo is. That's the question. You get a free trial on Crunchyroll? Yeah. Because I want to look into some of their anime. So, yeah, definitely. I'll check it out. You can get it through also Amazon. Like if you have their Prime and then you get the Crunchyroll, but I'm too cheap for that. I think it's a nonsense word. Yes, it's Samurai Chaos Champloo. Um, Definitely doesn't make any sense. All right, episode 19, Unholy Union, which I call it Doctrine of the Devil, or Wolf in Sheep Clothing, whichever one you want to call it. Um, so it enters in this is almost like how Miyazaki, like cinematography, like the setup of the scene. It's a field, and then you have a singular building that has a watermill because it's probably like some sort of grain mill. So it's a watermill, and it turns out Fu is hanging out in there. She's waiting on the guys again. Like they're supposed to go out and look for help and food. And they're not back yet, right? And then she hears a noise, and it turns out like there's this girl, frantically running kind of stuff, and barges into the windmill. What? No, watermill. Barges in the watermill. Help me, So Fu hides her, and then the thugs are chasing after her, and they come in. They bust out the door. Wait, yeah, I think so. One or the other. There's two times, yeah. So they come in and they're trying to tear it apart, and Fu's like, I don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah. So they pretend to leave. And so Fu gets her out, and they're talking, and she's talking about how their Christians are being, persecuted. There's like, something going on. And turns out that so Fu has this small little short katana, short sword, right? And there's little emblems on it. And we see I think it was called Jinja Ninja episode with the Dutch samurai. He saw it, and he's like, don't show it to anybody else. But he didn't tell her like what it meant. Hello, Quentin. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Thank you for saying hi. What's a Crunchyroll is a streaming. It's a website where you can watch all kinds of anime. It's like an anime haven. It's like the section at Blockbuster. You have that they have the action section and the comedy section. Crunchyroll. But it makes me think of sushi, no lie. So get back into it here. And so she notices the little skull on Fu's short knife, right? And she's like, do you know what that is? And Fu's like, no, I don't. She's like, look in the eyes. So Fu's like, okay. So she looks in the eyes of the skull, and she sees a cross. And so the girl's going on about how that is a little charm or token that the Christians use between each other to know that they're part of the group. They're a believer, right? So she goes about it, and so she's like, yeah, well, the person who gave it to me is a man that smells like sunflowers. Have you ever heard of him? And so the girl's telling her a story about how she does know a man that smells like sunflowers. and she tells him his name. Hold on. Senso. Ciso? Seso? Seso. I didn't spell it right. Sorry, guys. Anyways, that he was like the preacher on the island that they were at. And they were, it's an underground Christian network kind of thing going on. And they're being hunted. So they had to flee the island, but she doesn't know if he ever made it off the island or whatnot, right? So she tells him about the island. And then the thugs kick down the door and take the girl and knock Fu out. They're like, we got you. Thank you for giving us time for exposition and background story, guys. Right? I bet they waited at the door. They're like, okay, yeah. She got to the part. Okay, let's go. I like California rolls. I like veggie rolls. Or yeah, I like California. California is what's the one with the steak? Is that a Philadelphia roll? Yes. Okay, anyways. So the two guys come back, Jin and Mugen, and they're like, what are you doing passed out? She's like, where you guys been? She's telling them the story and they don't believe her. And she's like, no, I swear they exist and we need to go look for her. And so they're like, okay, fine, we'll go look for her. And so they come across, oh, so I skipped something. I skipped something. Oh my gosh. Hello, Cinevere. It's good to see you. Hail to you as well. Hope you're having a wonderful night. So while Mugen and Jin were out, they came across like this line of people and like the officials, and the people would stand on this stone, and like if they said a prayer, they were escorted off. And so, Jin and Mugen's like, what the hell's going on? Like he's always nosy kind of thing, right? And so they're like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, what are you guys doing? And he's like, this is where people, they stand on it, and if they say a prayer, then they're part of the Christians, and we're trying to take them out, blah blah. And then Mugen starts like fighting. Jin is so upset. He's like, you're getting into all this shit for nothing, right? You're causing too much. You're making an ass of yourself. And then all of a sudden, like this man on a horse who looks like a Roman Catholic. His name is Xavier the Third, right? He's like, I can't handle all this persecution. Like, I know what to do with it. And he like just starts shooting. Like totally what a Christian would do, by the way, guys. So he starts shooting, and then he runs off on the horse. Like it makes no sense except to get Mugen and Fu out of trouble. So anyways, they finally get the supplies and make it back, right? And so they're walking, and they come across this small little town, this little village, and they're asking, did you see a girl with two thugs, a little upset woman? They're like, no, not here, but you're welcome to stay. And Jin's like, that's creepy. They have a little bit more guards than necessary. Like a little bit more fortified for a small little village. And so they all go to bed, and Fu wakes up to a noise, and she walks out, and she gets caught by the people and put her into a jail cell. Oh yeah, because so she sees them all going into an underground cave. And so she's like, what the Bob? Like men, women, and children, like the whole village in the middle of the night going in the underground cave. Like, what are they doing, right? Is there going to be Kool-Aid down there? So she goes to investigate, and it turns out Xavier is the pastor of this small little village, and he's talking about how, like, you can't get into heaven on your own anymore. Like, you need to do works or do all this weird stuff, and like you need to build guns. So he has the village making guns for him. You're finally watching Solo Leveling. I want to watch that too. So let me know how it's going for sure. And yes, we are bumping tonight. We are bumping a night ship. All right. Um so they see that she's there, so they put her in the prison, and she's in the prison with the other girl that she was with earlier. And so they talking more, and she's like, Xavier's like trying to force her to marry him. And he killed her dad because he was like, we're building guns and selling them to the enemy. Like, what is this? Like, you're doing a gun black market with Christians. um, and so Jin hears Fu get up, and he goes investigates, and she's not there. And so he hears these guys talking, and they're making a black arms deal. In the middle of the night, like, these are your guns. And he's like, all right, we're on a payment installment plan, dude. We love these guns. These Christian, these holy guns. So, so he's like, okay, something is not right. So let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so he's using, and it turns out he's a crook and a liar. He's hoarding all this treasure. Like, he's got paintings and all these things that he's gathered with money of people who were believers. Holy hand grenades. Holy hand grenades. That's right, crap. That's funny. And so the girl is brought out, and they're gonna marry, and Fu tells her, don't do it, like, follow your heart, like, which is not really a Christian thing to do. You don't follow your heart. But what does she say? Tells Yuri what her heart tells her. What your heart tells you. So she stands up for herself and is like, I don't want to marry you. You killed my father. You're a liar. And so he's telling the congregation that Fu and her are like demon possessed, and they needed to be exorcised with a gun. Okay. So they get in a scuffle. Mugen and Jin show up with a guy, and they're ratting him out. He's like, you saw us selling the guns. And everybody's like, oh my god, he's selling the guns. Like, Black Arms like, Yusuke. Maybe. So, and he gets bumped around, and is, I guess, Catholics have a certain nose. So his nose bumps off. You find out he's got a fake nose, and he's actually Japanese, pretending to be a third descendant of a great pope or whatnot, right? So he's a wolf in sheep clothing. He is selling the doctrine of the devil right now. So he's like, I'm gonna, exercise you guys. So he's got like this big cannon gun, and he tries to shoot it, and it blows off. It blows up in him. He goes, push, he explodes, and he's dead. So now the village has nothing to do. They were making guns for money. Now they're gonna have to figure out what else to do. Definitely don't get into the racket. And so the group gathers together, and Fu's like, all right, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of information I got. So he is on an island. Sunflower Man is on an island. We're going to it. He's like, Mugen's like, what's so important about this guy? Like, is it revenge? Like, what is going on with you? She's like, kind of. It's like he did something to my mom, and then she throws it down. She throws just the biggest bombshell down right at their feet. She's like, Sunflower Man is my father. He is your father. Dun, dun, dun. End of episode 19. Oh my goodness, that was crazy. Like I said, my favorite one was episode 18, Schoolhouse Rocks. Yes. The economy plummets for sure. Yeah. I am your sunflower. Mic drop. Yes. No, you don't have to be embarrassed. So, yeah, that is it. So next stream next Monday, we're doing 20 to 21, 2, 3, 20 to 23. 4 episodes, and then we'll have 3 for the last. And then I'm going to talk about who my favorite character is, the one that I identify with the most. You like the baseball? I haven't gotten to that yet, Jake. That is in the next stream. So please stop by next Monday. Well, Maria, thank you so much. We are actually ending it anyways. So I'm so happy that you got to stop by. Get some good sleep. So that's it. And then hopefully Wednesday, as long as Zach's is done with his pneumonia, I'll be on his channel and we'll be talking about true romance. Because if not, it's going to be a bad romance for me. Yes, they did. You know they do. Hilarious. Yeah, because that does work in line. The Catholics did, like with the Jesuits and the Knights Templar, they did have campaigns of spreading Christianity. And they spread it by quite violent memes. Yeah, party, 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 party. Alabama Whirly. I think I was going to call myself Callie Twirly on Wednesday. Callie Twirly. Because Alabama Whirly sounds like just the most pleasant thing. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope you have a wonderful week. Everything goes well for you. Yeah, some exciting things. Oh, I can't wait for April. Cannot wait. So, all right, lovelies. Oh, and before you leave, I have a poll on my community tab, a post. Please vote if you still can. I'm going to be eating a whole pizza on live stream, and you guys get to choose my topping. Sounds like a cocktail or something more positional for sure. Do it. Do it. I am. I don't know if I'll dress up or not. We'll find out. Yeah, so if the poll is still going, please go tell me what pie you want me to eat. All right. Good night, everyone. Bye.